Hi, I'm Todd Foreman. Welcome to Hubscapes. We're here on Summer Street in front of South Station. South Station opened in 1899, and when it did, it was the biggest railroad station in the United States. During its heyday, 28 railheads opened off the main concourse. That was possible only because South Station ran all the way up Summer Street to the Fort Point Channel. Let's do the same. This is the Fort Point Channel. It wasn't here when Boston was settled in 1630, but slowly evolved as they warped out and started landfill projects. It's named, no doubt, for the Fort Point, which dominated the skyline right here. And the channel connects the outer harbor with the inner South Bay. In 1870, the channel was dredged and the seawall reinforced with granite blocks. Along its course could be found ironworks, furniture and piano factories, and cabinet shops. This was a major transportation link in Boston's growing industrial and manufacturing prosperity. Now, if you were standing right here in the 1890s, you would be witness to over 19,000 ships a year, bearing cotton, wool, lumber, coal, iron, molasses, spices, leather, or fruit. All of these would be stored in warehouses that lined the channel and could be distributed throughout New England either by rail or by ship. On the other hand, if you were standing here in the 1890s, you'd be in the way of 19,000 ships a year. And so would the bridges. There were 9 of them, and they all had to move to let the ships in and out. From now on, when you cross the Fort Point Channel, I want you to stop and notice how these bridges moved. Most of them moved in a different way. The Summer Street Bridge was finished in 1899, the same year that South Station was finished. It was a major access route between South Station and the new South Bay. It was 505 feet long and 99 feet wide, and it had a rare design. It split diagonally right down the middle so that ships could come through. The bridge was built on wheels, and those wheels were on tracks. Occasionally a ship would hit the tracks and the wheels would derail. It was costly and time-consuming to put them back. This is the Congress Street Bridge. It worked a lot faster than the Summer Street Bridge. It's a Bascule Bridge, and Bascule is a word that you haven't heard much in the last 50 years, but it refers to the motion of a drawbridge over a moat, or the elbow and the forearm. The 2 leaves of this bridge would come up to allow the ship to come through. The operator sat in that house right there. And finally, this is the Northern Avenue Bridge. It has a span of 283 feet. It's a swing bridge. It's mounted on a 40-foot drum, and it can swing out of the way of ships. From this picture, you can see that the bridge ends at this train yard. The trains are parked in a fan-like pattern, so this area, where the federal courthouse is known as Fan Pier. The Northern Avenue Bridge now serves solely as a pedestrian bridge, and its fate remains unknown. Like the tall ships of yesteryear, which sailed out of Boston Harbor never to return, the glories of the Fort Point Channel are now long forgotten. Well, that's Boston for you, and I'm Todd Foreman for Hubscapes. See you on the trail.